Hello and welcome to another episode of Football Talk Podcast. My name's Ozzie and I'm your host for today's show. So today I'm doing a match reaction of Liverpool versus Crystal Palace, which concluded as 1-1. My reaction to the game, very disappointing from a Liverpool's point of view. That's 2 points in 2 games. Not what you expect for a team that's challenging for the title. A lot of talking points throughout the game. One noticeably, the red card from Núñez, which I'll elaborate more as I give an analysis of the game. Disappointing result. Very frustrating. As we dominated the game quite a bit as well. But Palace were just more clinical in the end. So what I'll do is give a more thorough analysis of the game from the starting lineup. So for me, it was a bit of a surprising lineup from Palace where they pretty much added an extra body in defense. So the formation was a 4-5-1 and Zaha leading the line, which he normally doesn't do. He normally plays on the left. For Liverpool, I was happy to see Elliott start the game. It's what I wanted when I did my match preview with Rich from Eagle Eyed Football last week. So I was happy about that. And Núñez started this game as well, which obviously before the game I was happy about. Now, probably not as much, to be honest with you. The surprise start was actually Nat Phillips starting the game with Matip just injured and Konate also on the injury list right now. Gomez wasn't fully fit, but did play later on in the game. And I feel you can tell the quality players. There's no shade on Nat Phillips for me. You know, whenever he comes on the pitch, he does a solid job. But there's levels to playing for Liverpool, and I just don't think he's quite at that stage for us. Just got some comments here. Brush, big up yourself. Thank you for joining the show. Matt Smith, likes and stuff. Thank you, Matt. Appreciate it. But up the topies. Well, we'll have to have a chat when Liverpool and Everton play. I think we play very soon. So yeah, I'm sure we can have a discussion about the upcoming Merseyside derby going forward. But back to the game. First half. We actually started really well, to be fair. In a positive manner, we actually had a shot in the opening minute. Wasn't a clear-cut chance where Milner pretty much drove to the area and pretty much lashed onto the ball. So it wasn't going to go in. It was one of those chances where you kind of hit and miss. And the goalkeeper was pressing quite forward to him as well. It's an easy chance to take. I was actually quite impressed with Núñez in the first half. I think he showed some great touches, some nice link-up play as well. For me, the stand-up performer in the first half was actually Elliott. I think he was very busy on the ball, moved around, which is what I like to see from a centre midfielder. Not really a trademark in terms of how our current crop of midfielders are, but I like to see that sort of player where he's on the front foot. He's actually trying to make things happen, continuously moving, touch and pass. That's the kind of midfielder I like to see for Liverpool. Just got another comment here from Matt Smith. Yeah, I think it's the last game before an international break. Yep. So definitely we'll try and do some sort of collab and try and get you on the show as well. That'd be fantastic to do going forward. But yes, Diaz for me showed flashes in the first half. Wasn't involved much, to be honest with you. And Liverpool fans, let me know what you think. But something that I've noticed recently is that I think the partnership between Robbo and Diaz, it hasn't clicked. They don't really have any chemistry going forward. It's a very strange one because when we had Mane in the team, I never had that sort of concern on the left-hand side, but I feel like our quality has dipped where they don't seem to be operating naturally together. It's quite weird. They're playing like we're playing a 4-4-2 where if one goes forward, the other one drops deep. So if Robertson's made a marauding run, Diaz will drop deep, which is not what you want from our attackers. So I think that's a work in progress. But for me, yeah, I think they're still learning each other's game. I know they had some good spell at the end of last season, but I wasn't impressed today. I just feel like I don't want to see Robbo in the final third of the pitch. You know, great cross of the ball, but not in front of goal at all. So that's something I think they need to work on going forward. I've just got a comment here from Madison Smith. At least Liverpool has a tune-up game against Manchester United, but is it Arsenal or bust? To be fair, I'm not even confident about the United game. That sounds so bizarre, but yeah, I'm just so deflated in terms of how we performed. We didn't perform bad, but the result just wasn't acceptable. Now we don't even have a striker with Nunes suspended in the next game, and Firmino, I believe, is out as well. Jota's still injured, so it's not been the best of start for Liverpool in terms of having a full squad. We've got so many injuries. I think that's number 10 now. We've got Matip injured now, so that's number 10. And then you've got suspension in Nunes. So 11 players not available right now. So yeah, not a great start for Liverpool here. Just got another comment here from Ozzie Talks. Big up, mate. Great up. Thank you very much. Appreciate the support, Munzi. But yeah, back to the game. Oh, so deflated in terms of how we played today. But I think we had a lot of chances in the first half, which is probably the more frustrating thing about the whole game. We definitely dominated the first half. Salah had some great chances. The first one was a snapshot, which just hit wide. I think it hit the side netting as well. And the second one was a lovely clip ball into the middle of the box. And I think Salah should have buried it with the header, but wasn't to be. Elliott was very close as well to scoring. And Nunes had a weird fluky swipe on goal at the last minute of the first half. So at that stage, you're thinking, that might just creep in, but it just wasn't to be. But in terms of Palace's performance in the first half, they didn't really trouble Liverpool. They were pretty much set up to play on the counter, which was quite evident going through the game. And I think they kept the shape really well. They weren't able to have a lot of possession. Anderson wasn't able to spray passes like he did against Arsenal last week. But for me, the two players that I highlighted last week in my match preview pretty much stole the show, and it was Eze and Zaha. So yeah, Eze for me was on fire in this game. Fantastic. Played with such great confidence, great dribbling on the ball. The goal itself, it was a fantastic through ball from him, and an exquisite finish from Zaha on the left-hand side. I think Gary Neville said it was like Thierry Henry. It does remind me, because that sort of goal is Thierry Henry's trademark, and it very much had that kind of flash about it, where from the left-hand side, and it cut it nicely into the bottom corner. I think in terms of the build-up play before that goal, Fabinho should have done a lot better in the tackle to get the ball off Eze. For me, just wasn't strong enough. And overall, I think Fabinho had a very poor game. And maybe Van Dijk should have been a bit more tight onto Zaha. I don't think he expected Zaha to finish straight away. Maybe he thought he was going to control the ball, maybe dribble a little bit more. But yeah, you can't take away from the finish. It was a fantastic finish. Beautiful goal. And like I said, Eze was fantastic on the counter. Yeah, he looked like he was just enjoying himself. I know he did a cheeky nutmeg, I think it was on Trent in the first half. It was just, it was on a different level. It's kind of funny. It's like, you see those captions on Instagram where the caption is where your girlfriend attends your first football match, and he was just impressing like nothing, or he's looking for a move. I don't know, because he was doing all kinds of cheeky nutmegs, mazy runs. He was just on it today. So unfortunate to leave on I think around the 75th minute, but I feel like he was definitely Palace's best player. Zaha, on the other hand, was very close to actually getting a second goal in the first half as well. Final touch was just too heavy, and Alisson did well to block the shot. I think a bit of more composure, maybe he could have dinked it over Alisson, but it was a difficult task for him. Second half, so this is where all the drama basically happened for the match itself. Nunes, what on earth was he thinking? What was he playing at? You just can't react like that. I know it was funny. He tried to headbutt him before that incident as well, but I saw in the first half they were having a little tussle here and there. But you just can't do that. You can't do it so blatantly as well and just headbutt the opposition player. Naive from him, red mist, classify it however you want. He needs to watch his temperament going forward, as that's not acceptable. He's let his team down in this situation where we weren't winning. We were 1-0 down, and we needed his sort of presence up front. But sometimes football's a funny game, and it actually ended up being a blessing in disguise, because we performed a lot better in the second half. The equaliser itself, now that's what I'm talking about. What a fantastic goal by Diaz. I've been saying this about Diaz for a long time. He has this ability to do this week in, week out. It's not just one every full moon that he has these amazing runs and scores goals. He can do this on a regular basis. So I was so impressed in terms of how he dribbled around 4 or 5 players and a fantastic shot in the end. That's what I want to see from him on a regular basis. That will elevate him to that next level, that elite level of players in world football. So long may that continue for Diaz. And for me, he was probably the best player in the second half, pressing non-stop, trying to get the ball from the opposition. That's what we like to see. Trent Alexander-Arnold also had a chance later on. I just don't think he was kind of in the right state of mind. The ball had a bit of zip on it as well, but he just lashed it wide. Didn't really have that composure to set himself and try and hit in the near post. But yeah, unfortunate for him. Zaha could have scored another one at the end. Hits the post point blank. Bit of a tricky one as the ball was fizzed into the box. And I think he was a bit uncertain in terms of how to go with the finish, to go with the inside or the outside of his foot. In the end, it didn't really matter. I think he went with the inside of his foot in the end and hit the post. So unlucky on his part. Debut for Fabio Carvalho, who came on, had some nice touches. Didn't have enough time to kind of make a big imprint onto the game. Had a good shot as well outside of the box, sweetly hit, but unfortunately it just went wide. Anderson actually had a late chance from a free kick, but missed the target. So for me, overall, disappointing result for Liverpool. Let's not beat around the bush, but a great point for Palace. I think with the disappointment of last week and looking at their fixture list, they'll think, the opening 2 games against Arsenal or Liverpool, it's not going to be easy. But even against Arsenal, I think they performed really well in the first half, especially. Oh, no, sorry, second half. Arsenal performed really well in the first half. And you can see it's such a great young team with a lot of talent. Olise came on in the, I think, last 10 minutes, and he was causing all kinds of havoc on the right-hand side. So for me, that's a player to look out for this season, as I feel like he will definitely blossom the more game time he gets. Overall, fair result. I can't say anything else. I think Vieira had the tactics spot on in terms of setting up the team 5-4-1, trying to play on the counter, and in the end, it worked for him superbly. So yeah, very disappointing, but it is what it is. Onwards and upwards. Next fixture is next Monday as well, ironically. So that'll be Monday Night Football. Liverpool versus Manchester United. I believe it's at Old Trafford. You would expect me to be in high confidence about that game, but I'm expecting a win, but I'm not expecting us to blow anyone away just because we're not quite there yet. We're playing on below par right now. So yeah, very, very frustrating. But so yeah, that's a quick reaction from the Liverpool Crystal Palace game. So thank you for tuning in, guys. If you haven't already, please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. Appreciate the support. Next episode will actually be tomorrow. So I will be doing a match week 2 review. So going through all the big games. I might even do all of the games tomorrow and just go through the talking points of how things happened. A lot of talking points regarding the Chelsea and Tottenham game. So that will be probably the center of my attention in that episode tomorrow. But yeah, hit that notification bell. You'll get a notification whenever I go live tomorrow. But yes, thank you again, guys. And I hope to see you all soon. Good night.